How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map to Farming Simulator 22 called the Plantation. We are going to start with the description. Get ready to experience unlike ever before on a tree farm in the United States. The terrain is fairly smooth with some rolling hills. Plantation supports all productions that are available and will offer ultimate forestry and farming experience. This map includes 10 fields, 31 purchasable lands, main river and small lakes for fresh water, full of all the in-game collectibles. Includes one sell all points, sawmill production, grain elevator, and chip sell point. Map is based in the US with normal seasons. Some ditches fill with water during rainy weather. This map was authored by Gamer Designs and is 81.48 megabytes to download. Now let's go ahead and check out the map. As you can see here, we start out down here in the south in this kind of open area where we're going to see where the shop is located and several other items as well. And what do we start with this map? We start with everything that's highlighted in blue here. We start with this main farm where fields 1 through 5 are, a tree kind of plot up here, and all the various sell points locations. Sell points and endpoints of interest locations to start. As we can see, there are a pretty wide range of different prices for the various maps. Obviously, the bigger the range, the bigger the price. You can see this one here is almost 600 grand, and we've got a plot down here that's 15 grand. So pretty wide range. Let's see. There is the periphery, as you can see. We own that based on the areas that are in blue, but there's kind of a, I don't know, like a secondary periphery. If you click on the part with this large river in the north, you can see here for $96,000 we can buy kind of this river as well as the river banks. So might be something worth purchasing for storytelling and all that. As mentioned before, there are collectibles. We can double check that by coming to the statistics screen and down at the bottom right and see that there's 0 of 100 collectibles. These collectibles are the base game collectibles from Elm Creek, so you'll see like the little wooden toys just kind of strewn about the map. There are no custom mods. If we come into areas like sheds and whatnot, and you scroll over, there are no additional mods that the map maker has put in, as well as if you go to the mod screen and you look for the mods and DLCs, there's nothing here if you load into it fresh with no additional mods. So what we are going to do first is come over towards this side of the yard here where we start out to our first point of interest, and you'll see I'm going to turn back here. Normally I don't point out water points or anything like that, but this is a little bit more than just a water point. You can see here, yeah, you have water, but if you kind of walk into it just a bit, you see there's this little ridge right here. These are stones that you have to start out with your own gravel quarry, your own stone quarry, that you can just go ahead and pick up all these loose stones, with a loading bucket or whatever, and use them in like a production point or sell them. I am not aware of a crusher being on the base map, but is there a place to sell the stones? Let's see. There is the sell all point, which we'll show later on. So we'll next come over here to our sawmill. This is our first production point, and you can purchase it for $100,000. The input of logs is right here. You just click on this little trigger here to sell your logs, and then over here is the sell point for your wood chips. So you just kind of dump your wood chips into there, and you can take wood chips out from the sawmill production right here. Now we're going to run over to middle of the yard. And you have access to this building because you do own this land. And within this building is your workshop trigger. And then lastly, over there in the distance is the shop. Now, we are going to wander all the way over there. You can see right in front of us is the disc for the shop. We're going to access it because we need a way to get around on this map. And cars, nothing fancy, just something. Pop out and your spawn point is right over here. And last point of interest in this yard is directly across the way from us, and that is a large petrol tank. And it's one of the tanks where you can either dump into the tank itself if you have, you know, diesel already, or you can just refill it up to 15,000 liters. Now, go ahead and leave the yard. Now, word of warning, some of the roads, if you're not paying attention, are actually really bumpy. So if you get moving pretty fast, you're gonna go for a ride. I was going through a previous map tour, or not map tour, but just kind of familiarizing myself with the map earlier, and I ended up flying pretty well into one of the areas over the fence line and over the ridge, or over the embankment there. I am going to pull in here just real quick just to point out there are several of these flattened areas within the tree groves. You can kind of see that this would be either a good place for additional production points. It's relatively flat and smooth, so it wouldn't take too much to terraform, or it makes for a good staging area for your logging equipment. So just you see that big bump right there? That's what I'm talking about. You get too far over and you start like really kind of flopping around. So just be mindful of that. Don't go, you know, 100 miles an hour like I'm doing right now. Well, 75, and you know, bad things may happen. So right here is our starting farm. We are going to start here with a horse pen where we can have 5 horses. Water in here, food in here. We have a small petrol tank here on the farm where you can put in up to 5,000 liters, or you can have, or you can dump it in if you have the diesel already. Over here we have a liquid fertilizer tank. And you can see this will hold 173,500 liters of liquid fertilizer. Over here is our farm silo. This is a farm of 400, so I believe that means it's 400,000 liters of product, and I believe this is also base game grain products. Over here is our house, and sleep trigger is right here on the porch. I did not find a wardrobe trigger, so that might be something that you'll have to import with a different house. In front of us here is a hayloft where you can store your silage and hay and straw. And we come back to our truck, hop in. And we are gonna go over to here. And this is where a lot of our starting equipment is. And speaking of starting equipment, what do we start out with? So if we come to this screen and look at owned items, we start with, under large tractors, a 7R330, a 7R270. Under trucks, a Max Superliner 6x4. Under forestry, we have a Ponzi Cobra as well as a Ponzi Bison active frame. So we've got the harvester as well as the name is skipping me off the top of my head, but I just call it a buncher. you know, bunches everything and drags them out of the thick woods. We have the truck, but that doesn't come standard. That is something I purchased. We have the Crampy trailer, half pipe HP 20. We have a Dagelman Signature 7200 stone picker. Under cultivators, we have the Lemkin Schmargd 9-500K. Under seeders, we have the Pottinger Terraceme C6F. Under mowers, we have the rear K-branded mower, the GMD 8730FF. But we don't have a front mower, it just dawned on me. That's kind of odd. Anyways, and then under forestry equipment, we have the Flegel Timber Runner trailer. So, that's what we kind of start out with. We're gonna jet over here just real quick for our last point of interest around this particular farm. Right over here on the side of the farm is a water tank point, and I apologize, spoiler, I did not see this before, but you do have one toy right here. Each toy is worth $1,000, and if you collect all of them, I believe you get either a $100,000 bonus, or I believe if you collect all of them, you get a bonus that will give you $1 million total collected over the $1,000 per 100 toys and whatnot. So anyways, we come out the farm on the back side. Oh, see, like I said, there's kind of a bunch of bumps and hills and stuff, so you do have to be careful. We come back over to this side, down this main path, and you can see here's our Mack and Timber Runner trailer. We have our Bison harvester, or Ponzi harvester, and our buncher back here. In this forest we do start out with. And now we're going to jet over to the next point of interest. Which is right over here. This is the animal dealer. You can either bring an animal trailer over to this trigger here to load into it, or you can come right to the trigger itself if you're standing a little off of it, and you can buy your animals directly from here and have them transported for you automatically. So you can use the trailer to save the delivery fee, or you can just pay the fee and have them delivered for you. And one thing that just dawned on me that I did not go over, we do have contracts to start out on this map of the 5 fields that we don't own. We don't have to start with any production chains or anything along those lines. And I wanted to show us where we started and where we've been. So we started down here at the farm, at this facility, this big plot down here, where the sawmill, the stone quarry lake, the various inputs for the sawmill. You have your shed right here. You've got your shop trigger as well as your large petrol tank. We came out of that yard over to this junction to the north. Came up here, we took in these various points of interest. We took in the horse pasture, the small petrol tank, the liquid fertilizer tank, and the Farmer 400 silo. We checked out the farmhouse as well as the hayloft, and then we came down to check out the starting equipment, which was all kind of collected over here, and then jetted down to check out the water tank, came back out and around, went up, checked out our starting equipment that's over here in this forest of ours, came out, down, and to the animal dealer, back out, and here we are caught up. So we are going to continue on to the next points of interest, just down here a little bit further to the southeast. So this is our first sell point. Right here is the GCHB grain elevator sell point. Come down and out. Here's where I lost it, was right here. You could see all these like kind of bumps and divots in the road. I came too far out and just completely flipped out, and didn't work out too well for me. I had to finagle my way out. So just be careful if you're traveling down these roads at top speeds. Over to our right here is the opening to the fields that you can tend to as well for the contracts. Off to our right here is a small petrol tank. Again, just like all the other ones, we can refill it using the trigger, or we can, dump into it manually. Over here we have a Karma 16. This is where we can buy either seeds or mineral feed, and it's used as a storage silo for these products. You can store up to 27,300 300 liters of each product, or of the product. And then I'm not going to go over there, but if you can see up on the top in the background, the blue disc that's in the background there, towards the southeast corner of field 8, you can see that is another water tank that you can purchase water from. And now we are going to leave here, and we are going to take in our last point of interest. Make a right out of here. And make a left, and here is our sell all point sales point. So this is where we can sell all of our goods that are available, and what they will buy is flour, bread, cake, butter, cheese, fabric, honey, sugar, clothes, cereal, sunflower oil, canola oil, olive oil, grapes, olives, raisins, grape juice, chocolate, furniture, board, strawberries, lettuce, tomato, eggs, wool, cotton, silage, straw, grass windrows. So I think they mean dried. Oh no, grass wind. Okay, so loose grass. Hay is the dry grass windrow. Wood and lime. Whew. Okay. So a lot of your main sell points can be, or your kind of loose sell points are here, and your wood sell point is right here. This may also be the location for your like your production goods to be sold. If not, there's also a sell point in the back of the yard, as you can see here. Oh wait, there's another sign. What does this sign say? Oh, back of sell point. So okay, so that's all stuff that would be taken up in the front there. So the first thing that we saw was the sell wood, and only wood. Oh, sorry guys, another spoiler, right there, another spoiler. Sorry. Anyways, and on this back pad here, they purchase stones, manure, liquid manure, aka slurry, digestate, wheat, barley, canola, sunflower, soybeans, road salt, maize, aka corn, potatoes, sugar beets cut, sugarcane, oats, sorghum, wood chips, and milk. And that is the map. That is the map tour. Let's just pick up where we left off. We were here at the animal dealer. We came all the way down. We checked out the GCHB grain elevator, came back out, came to this kind of opening farm area where they had the small petrol tank as well as the Karma 16 seed and mineral feed silo. They had the water tank in the back that we just kind of looked at a distance. We didn't go back there. We then came back out down this track around and took in all the various sell all points. Yeah, like I said, that's the map. That's the map tour. Now, opinion time. Um, I'm not a huge forestry fan. So, with that being said, um, this map is not for me. And for those who it is, great. That's great. If I was grading this on a scale of 1 to 5, I would give this probably a 3. Now, the reason that this would probably not be lower than some other forestry maps is that this forestry map actually gives you contracts, so you have a way to subsidize your income and do something other than forestry if you so choose. Not a lot of the other forestry maps that are out there. I mean, there are some that are out there, but a lot of them will just be strictly forestry, and then you have to then start to farm after you cleared out the trees and all that stuff. So this kind of has a little saving grace. Now, one thing I will also say is because this is kind of like a tree farm, or is what, like, you see the kind of straight planting of all the trees and all that stuff, and there's just times where that can become very disorienting, at least to me. I don't know if anybody else is like this, but yeah, so it makes it just, I don't know, kind of weird to me. Not a knock against the map maker or anything like that, or to anybody who likes this map or maps like this. It's just, I don't know, something about it. I know this is how they do it in real life. They line them up in rows, and so it makes it easier to get equipment in and out, you know, all that stuff. I get it. It's just, like I said, just something about me personally. But that's the map tour. I hope that you enjoy this map tour. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, follow, do all the things that the algorithms enjoy you doing to keep the show that you're engaged with this channel. That being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care.